the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board here on a Tuesday. We're live in Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino, your spot. Thanks for watching on YouTube TV, listening, Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Right now, we'll begin the hour talking college basketball as ESPN insider Jeff Borzello joins the program on the Progressive Guest Line. Jeff, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
So we saw two of the one seeds that we're going to get on Selection Sunday in action again last night, and they took care of pretty good opponents in Duke and Arizona. I'll throw Florida into the mix and obviously Michigan. Which out of those four do you think has the best A game?
Well, it sounds kind of counterintuitive given that they lost on a neutral court to Duke not too long ago, but I just think Michigan, if they're making their outside shots, I find them really hard to beat just because there's not another team in the country to me that has their combination of size and shooting ability and ability to run the floor. Florida can get there, and we saw against Arkansas over the weekend that they might be playing better than they were at this point last year in their title run. But Michigan, because they start three guys 6'9" or above, because they can all switch and guard, they have an elite shot blocker at the rim, along with a team that can hit double-digit threes in a game very quickly, a team that plays at a tempo that is faster than 99% of teams in D1. I just don't know if there's another team that, if Michigan's playing at their best, that can handle that kind of combination of size, shooting, and pace.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Connecticut. If they do get that other one seed and it's not Florida, can that team, they're essentially going to have to go through three of those teams. I was thinking two, but they might have to go through Florida as the two. Then that would get them to the Final Four, then probably a one seed, and then another one seed. Do you think UConn could actually accomplish that this year?
Well, it feels like UConn has played better against good teams. And so I'm not going to put it past them. They've played down to their competition too often, which, it makes me question whether they can do it 6 straight games, especially if 3 of them are, as you said, against, fellow top 5 teams. I just don't know if their issue all season for the first 3 months of the year was they didn't have an offense to match a top 10 defense. And then their shooting came around and their defense suddenly fell off a cliff. Mm-hmm. We have not seen them put together a stretch of 5, 6, 7 games where they're making shots, scoring consistently while also really guarding ball screens. And until I see them put it together for a few games. Now, we did see it. St. John's, Villanova blew both of them out, came back down to earth against Seton Hall. I want to see what they do in the Big East tournament. I want to see what they do in the first 2 rounds of the tournament where they should just kind of skate by. If they can, if both of those things can mesh sort of at the same time, I'd have some sort of faith in them being able to win it all. But to me, they are a little tick behind those other 4 teams we've talked about.
They're in action tonight. They have 2 games left in the regular season. Your thoughts, and also as a college basketball insider, on what the consensus is on the Miami of Ohio story if they go 33-1.
For Miami of Ohio, to me, is if they can finish the regular season undefeated, which in the scenario you're talking about they would, and they lose in the conference tournament, I think they would get into the tournament. I just don't see the committee leaving out a team that wins all of its regular season games. I just think there is a little bit of a, hey, we have to send a message where if you win every game, the regular season has to matter. These mid-major and low-major conferences can't just skip ahead to the conference tournament. Now, you can make an argument that, hey, why not just give the automatic bid to the regular season champion? That's a whole different conversation. But I do think from a Selection Sunday at-large bid perspective, if Miami, Ohio finishes the regular season undefeated, they get in. If they lose to Toledo or Ohio this week and then again in the conference tournament, to me, that's going to be a really sweaty Selection Sunday for them, and I could see a real case for them getting left out.
Okay. Could we get to that point that they would say, I'm going to take my conference champ? I totally agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why we play for 3 months and it comes down to 3 days. I would like to say
the Ivy League kind of had the right idea.
They
would give their automatic bid to the regular season champ.
Yeah.
And that we're seeing. Some of these smaller conference tournaments, just the way their bracket is formatted. Look at the Sun Belt. I think the Southland might be like this too, where it's just a ridiculous bracket. It's like a ladder where, like, if you finish 7th, you got to win like 5 games to get to the conference title game. Where if you're a top 2 seed, you just have to win 1. All these leagues are catering to their, the top one or two teams in the league to try to get them in the title game. Is, at some point someone's got to say, let's just give it to the regular season champ. I know,
right.
The league office will lose some money and, a little bit of TV money because the championship game's on TV and everything. But at the same time, like, if you want your best teams, your best players, your best coaches in the tournament, that'll be your regular season title, your regular season champ more often than not.
Yep, totally agree. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Jeff Borzello, he's an ESPN college basketball insider. He's on the Progressive guest line. So you are making, obviously, and a bunch of other people at the network, picks for these conference tournaments, website, also the overall, everything that ESPN does. Let's get hardcore here. We were talking about this before you came on. The Northeast Conference is absolutely bonkers. If the final is the 3-seed Mercyhurst against the 4-seed Lemoyne, there's going to be an additional game between the two teams that lose in the semifinals to see who goes to the tournament. This is bonkers. And you have a pick for your thoughts on that, and then your pick to win it.
Yeah, to me, if a team is ineligible for the NCAA tournament, I don't understand why a league would put them in their conference tournament. It leads to weird situations where we could have two teams playing for the conference tournament title for really no reason. I mean, there's no tournament bid on the line. It would just be sort of an exhibition game, and the winner can say, we won the conference tournament, even though they can't play in the tournament. So to me, it's a little bit bizarre. They're not the only league. This has happened for years. We've seen this a couple of times where, the semifinalists will make the tournament just because the winner can't make it. But in that league, even though they lost the league by 3 games, I still think Central Connecticut will be my pick in that league. They have the best defense in the league. I think Patrick Sellers is a guy who has been in this position before. He's coached big games like this. And in March, I just see I see defense winning out. Now, LIU has an explosive offense. I don't know. I like the combination that Patrick Sellers has, and they do have Darren Smith Jr., who arguably to me is the best player in the league.
I would be shocked if Navy doesn't win the Patriot. I mean, not only did they win they went 17-1 in league, they body bagged people. I mean, they kept covering and blowing teams out every game, and they get it on their home floor.
And they clinched the outright league title with at least 2 weeks left in the regular season. Like that doesn't happen in mid-major leagues. I mean, there was 4 or 5 games left when they clinched, and they have been their defense. I mean, they're holding teams to 0.95 points per possession in league play. I think that's the best defensive efficiency of any team in conference play in America. They're like you said, they've just been blowing the doors off teams. I don't see another team beating them.
Okay, so the Summit League is a league that is top-heavy. At the very top, North Dakota State, they won it 14-2 overall in conference, 24-7 on the year. The Tommies, 12-4 in league play, 23-8 St. Thomas. And this is a league, Jeff, that has done damage and been a threat in the big dance in recent years. Who is your pick to win the Summit League this year?
I'm going with the Tommies. I'm going with St. Thomas. Their offense has been among the best mid-major offenses for a few years now. They just haven't had a chance to show it. They've been one of those teams that we just talked about that was in transition to D1 and could not play in the NCAA tournament. But this is their year, and I think they're going to take the next step. I think they have 2 guys who could play at the high major level, in Nick Janowski and Nolan Minisdale. 2 just big-time scorers, can make shots. I really like the way they attack on the offensive end, and I've been winning the Summit League.
Okay. How about the Sun Belt? Troy won it. They're the short shots to win the conference tournament from a betting standpoint as well. And then behind them, you had 6 teams tied for second, all with 11-7 league marks.
Yeah, I'm going with Arkansas State, who got kind of the short end of the stick with this one. They're seeded, I believe, 7th in the league, so they have to win a few games to get to the title game. But they've been pretty comfortably the best team in the league since February 1st. They've only lost 1 game in the last month. Their defense has been by far the best in the league. Their offense has been up there. They play at a high pace. Ryan Pannone kind of developed a pretty good reputation for himself as a coach at different professional levels. He was an assistant at Alabama last season. I just like the way they're playing right now. And in that type of league where, like you said, 7 teams finish within 1 game of the title, it does not make sense to me to choose the 1 seed to win it. So I'm going to go with Arkansas State.
Great article on coaches on the hot seat and names to watch. What is that like after that article comes out?
Well, I mean, the fact that I do talk to agents and other industry sources, it's pretty well informed. So I feel pretty confident in my information. But you're always going to have coaches or agents and people like that who are just not happy with the way a situation was depicted. Even though, I'll stand by anything I put in that article. But there are always going to be coaches and agents and schools that are going to say, hey, why are we on the hot seat? Do you know something we don't know? Questions like that. And I'll just say, hey, what I put in there is what I've heard. And, I feel confident in it. But there are always a couple of angry phone calls and texts in the hours after that goes up.
Yeah. I'm sure. Hey, Jeff, you do a great job covering the sport for ESPN. Thanks so much for the time. Have a good championship week this week and next week. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
You can follow him on X at Jeff Borzello, Borzello, and he was on the Progressive Guest Line. Another one, he likes Central Arkansas in the Atlantic Sun doing that conference. Pays attention, follows all the lower leagues, and made some good points there. That thing in the Northeast is bonkers.
I would not show the Lemoyne Mercyhurst game if that's the title.
It's pointless.
I would show the semifinal, the makeup game.
And so what?
That's the automatic bid.
So what do those teams get to show for it then? Hey, we won the conference tournament.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you get a trophy?
Yeah.
Do you get to put a banner up? But that was the end of the season?
God, it's bizarre.
You did not advance to the actual big dance?
There's some. Remember for years, this is when we were on mornings, but from the South Point, Conference USA used to play 2 games at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Separated by a sheet in Frisco, Texas, like it was intramurals. They did that for years. I'm like, this is a conference tournament. Can you hear both whistles? I mean, they're next to each other.
We'll go over games featuring teams in the top 25 tonight, including 2 that fit producer Luke's The Angle.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we will go over some NFL, as there is a draft pundit who thinks Jeremiah Love could go top 3. So we have news on that today as well. And the Kyler Murray news today, Cardinals are going to release him. We have that. That happened right before the show started about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Are you afraid of Miami being a little tight tonight at home? 2 more games to go, regular season for an undefeated season.
Did they already do senior night? I think they already did it.
You know what?
It's a good list. That's a good list tonight. A lot of senior night games. I think they respond. I think that was a nice win Friday.
Nope. Tonight is senior night.
It's tonight?
Tonight is senior night, according to somebody who tweeted this out earlier today. And I don't know who the person is, but we'll go with it.
They were down 9 with 7 minutes left. Their best player had fouled out. Another key injury to the guard, and they came back to win. So it was a bad team, but that showed a lot of guts and moxie to come back. Will they play tight? I hope not. Let it loose. But I also think you can get an angry team. Number one, Steele's up ticked off already. Taking out speakers at halftime. He felt they got a bad whistle. He apologized. But I think this is us against the world thing can work here. Come out and show you, because that Bruce Pearl thing has been everywhere in the talk of college basketball. And it's nice to see Lenardi and others stick up for him and even say, what are we doing here? We're going to go undefeated and get left out. So I think they can make a statement tonight. Tim Murray is correct. Watch them play. They average 92 a game, 162.5 the total tonight. And I think they get this done, and they will get to the MAC title game, or if they play Akron, they would lose. But I think you're going to see an angry team tonight after what's been said, because they also they didn't play. They got a tough whistle, and that's incredible for your best player to foul out with 7 minutes left.
Sure.
But I think they're going to be angry and have a good performance tonight against the Rockets.
All right, Matt, let's fast forward to the MAC title game. Akron is a 3.5-point favorite against Miami.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'd take Akron. Miami's 33-0?
Correct.
I would take Akron.
You're going to lay the points? Go money line.
No, I guess
does
money
that
line.
number sound fair, or is that too high?
That sounds high. They're probably 1.5, 2. I would think.
I think as of right now, I think Ken Pom would have it about 4.
He would.
But that doesn't mean that that's where it's going to be.
Well, that's also priced into what Murray said. I mean, the game is right down the street. Right. Why they do that. So, again, it's a disservice to the regular season champ and how they do that, where you don't even – there's no advantage. There's you have quarterfinals, there's no bye, there's nothing. It's like, what are we doing here?
I know. They need to have like an off-season convention specifically just to talk about conference tournaments.
He nailed it. Jeff just nailed it.
Yes, he did.
Oh, you're turning down a little bit of money because you're not on ESPN or you don't. Think about the money you make, you and your conference, if you win a game or two in the tournament.
If you take off.
Which that will work because you're sending your best team every year.
Right. How about St. Peter's as a 15 seed?
That's right.
The run that they went on and the teams that they defeated. To go to the, are you kidding me, the Elite Eight?
Yeah.
The best example, I think, is Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
I mean,
no one even heard of them.
Lob City.
Yeah.
And they're was it Dunk City? Clippers were Lob City. They were Dunk City and the Clippers copied it. So nobody heard of them before. And then all of a sudden, they're dunking all over Georgetown as a 15 seed. Georgetown was good and had pros on that team, and they killed them.
Well, George Mason, I think, the first to do it, to go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
But I would say Loyola Chicago and Sister Jean, too, after what they did and what they built. Because then they followed that up with a couple other runs, too.
Well, I'm just talking about
Final Four run. But
remember what happened to Gulf Coast, like enrollment?
Yeah, that's right. Never even heard of the school.
Nobody had ever heard of them. Where is this? Oh, it's right on the water? Oh, that looks fun. Maybe I should go there.
First 15 seed to make the Sweet 16. And fun and entertaining. But again, as Lenardi said today, when you look at the bubble and the little guy delivers more times than not, which they get bad seeds and they get fewer bids, but they have twice as many wins as these average teams sitting around 500, the likes of the Texas and the Oklahomas that you referenced earlier in a great email we received before the show where they were both 6-12 in league play. Texas lost in the play-in, and UConn buried Oklahoma last year in the first round.
Ask any logical thinking college basketball fan who is in their mid to late 30s and maybe a little bit older than that. So they've been around to see enough of these bad boys. Ask them if they would prefer a team like Miami or if they want 5-13 out of the SEC or the Big East. It's going to be like 95% of people saying, of course we want the dog. That's why we love the tournament. Alabama's at Georgia tonight. This total is moved up to 180.5. This was an angle play from producer Luke, hitting at 75% now. Going back.
1-1 yesterday.
Yeah, 1-1. But now it no longer qualifies. It was an angle play when Georgia was favored. Now Alabama is the favorite. Bama is third on offense and fourth in tempo at Ken Pom. The Bulldogs, top 16 on offense, 22nd in tempo. Both teams' paces have been down over the last 5 games. It's a long season, but Bama's offensive rating, last 5, 128.5, 97 percentile. Georgia, 134.2 on offense, 99 percentile last 5 games. I think this is going to be a track meet. I have the over, and I played an alt total over as well. I'll run all of our bets down coming up a little bit later on when we do in pocket.
I'm with you on the total.
I think both teams can score in the 90s. Both teams could push for 100.
I like South Carolina. The 12 is gone. It's down to 9.5. 10. That's a 3 o'clock Pacific start with Tennessee. Torvik has them ranked 15th in that one. Excellent write-up today, VSiN.com. Miami of Ohio down to 7.5. Excellent write-up by Adam Burke. This is not a conference tournament game. It's in the Coastal, where Monmouth is playing for a top 4 seed. Northeastern is already locked in. They know their opponent Friday. NCA&T, they're the 13 seed. They've lost, I think, 12 or 13 in a row. Haven't won since mid-January. Monmouth is only 4.5 in that game. And I took 8.5 with UNLV tonight at home against Utah State. I respect the program. They do it year after year and lose coaches. Torvik has them ranked 26th, but I don't think this Utah State team is that good. They are a lock to make the tournament. They lost at home against UNLV. So I think we're put too much price into the revenge angle, which they're already assured of being in the tournament. I think that's too much tonight down the street. And I like North Carolina at home. They've been a different team at home. Hell, they beat Duke. They haven't lost at home. And remember that sick run where Clemson couldn't win there ever. So I think Carolina wins and covers tonight as well. And then a first round of the Patriot League, Lafayette. This has got away from us. It was 2.5 yesterday. They swept Holy Cross, and they beat them by 19 at home. And they're at home tonight. It comes out 2.5. Now 3.5 shot, but there's a 3.5 at FanDuel. It's as high as 5. But if you get a good number on 3.5 on Lafayette, not Louisiana, Lafayette tonight, I like them in the Patriot. But it's a good card. And I'm surprised Boise State is favored against San Diego State. San Diego State not only needs this, probably has to win, get to the conference title game. Torvik has Boise 57 and the Aztecs 42. Tough place to play, but I don't think Boise should be favored at home. What say you?
I think in that conference, if Utah State wins it, they're only going to be, that's it. Right. That's one and done for Mountain West Conference.
Yeah, unless they beat New Mexico, I would think. Or maybe if New Mexico closes on a 5-game winning streak, that could be enough. I don't know.
I will say, after watching Duke pummel another opponent last night, I was really hoping to get Duke like 9.5 against North Carolina in the rematch this weekend, because that might be my biggest bet of the entire year. I think that number is going to be 15 or 16 when they play again.
BYU again?
That's the only way I would look at that game.
Cincinnati, yeah.
Tonight,
that's it. Funky 1.5, though.
And here's another thing, too. David Bierman's going to be on with primetime tonight. He has been I hope to God they ask him about Florida in the second half. This has been an angle going back now for a long, long time. The last time they did not outright win a second half was against Kentucky. They tied at 49 apiece. But even this year, in the non-conference against good teams at Duke, they won the second half by 11. They won the second half against UConn by 3. This goes all the way back to last year. And the game that I'm on tonight in the SEC is Kentucky at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Kentucky is off a great win. They throttled Vandy at home. Lenardi has A&M in the group of last 4 buys. They're the last team on the 10 line at Bracket Matrix. Kentucky's on the 6 line, so they're comfortably in. Torvik has Kentucky 100% to make the tournament. A&M 88%. I played A&M first half on the money line minus 120 and full game money line minus 125. They're also very good at home and can shoot the hell out of the ball. I don't like the spot for Kentucky tonight.
Has this ever happened? A top 10 team?
Me betting against Kentucky? Not enough.
A top 10 team is an underdog to an unranked team? Is that...
Which game is that? I don't keep track.
Nebraska, UCLA.
Oh, that's the other one that fits the angle.
I know we talked about that. But usually you see a team ranked like in the 20s or but a top 10 team is a dog to an unranked team? That I can't recall. That's wild. Download the free Upside app, promo code NETWORK to start earning real cash back on gas, groceries, and dining. Just open the Upside app and get the cash back offer at a location near you. Shop as usual and earn real cash back. You can cash out directly to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Download the free Upside app now. Code NETWORK. Code NETWORK and get 25 cents back per gallon on your first tank. Upside.com for details. Get the Upside app.
You asked, I will answer. I know that with Nebraska playing tonight and also the NFL coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
A lot of news to get to in the National Football League. We'll get to Kyler Murray, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. We have odds on wide receivers and their next team this offseason that we're going to run down. We also have more books posting draft props. That's now, a month, 7 weeks away, probably. Late April is where we're going to get that bad boy. And this is Todd McShay. How about this? Now, Jeremiah Love killed it at the Combine, right? And people are saying that he's one of the best running back prospects we've had come out of college in who knows how long. I would say hello, Ashton Genty. He just came out last year, but played at a lower level. Todd McShay talking about how high he could see Jeremiah Love going in April's draft.
To see the way he's able to run routes and to see that 4.36 legit, like right there posted for us at his size, he's special. And I think you look at the top of the draft, right? We all agree that Fernando Mendoza is going number 1 to the Raiders. After that, I think it's going to probably be an edge rusher to the Jets. Maybe Sonny Styles gets into that mix. But then you look at Arizona at 3, Tennessee at 4, even the Giants at 5 with Scadaboo coming off of that injury. Right. I don't think Jeremiah Love gets out of the top 5, and it won't shock me if he's the 3rd pick in this draft.
Oh, would not shock him.
Wow.
Is that the reason why in prediction markets it just went bye-bye?
I don't think so. I think that because it started a couple of days ago. So I don't know I don't think it was the McShay. I think that put some people over the top, but he was already starting to move prediction markets to go third.
He was on the Up and Adams show when he said that. So top 5, the Giants taking him. Come on, let's not get. They can't do that. They need a lot of other help. I can't see that team doing it, but it's certainly, as he said,
I can't see anyone doing it. Also, because of what? That's not his fault. But the Raiders took Gentry top 10. He had because the offensive line was so bad.
Yeah, I know.
So you got to get what good is it if you don't have the blocking up front and a bad offensive line? So whether it could be Arizona or the Giants or someone,
it keeps coming down. By the way,
I can't get there with a running back that early.
No, neither could I. So he was 5-1 at BetMGM to go third overall earlier today. Now they're plus 450. And what was the number in prediction markets?
He's like 2%. Now we got up to 50. Now I think he's high 30s last check.
It's not going to be the Jets at 2. They put the franchise tag on running back Breece Hall today. The Seahawks are not expected to tag Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. What do you think of that news?
That's tough. You can't lose him. Guy's the star of the Super Bowl. You win the Super Bowl, and that's it?
Zach Charbonnet is going to be coming off of an injury.
Man. That is tough.
They just don't want to pay him all that money.
Hendrickson gone, waved bye to Cincinnati. Walker could be gone. You know, what's going to happen at the quarterback position with all these guys? And another good mock-up today, which this is more realistic as what Kuiper put up there. Downs to Washington at 7. They have Love to the Saints at 8. Bain going 4th to Tennessee.
I can see that right with the new coaching staff there.
Yeah, and then he had Simpson 16
to the Jets,
but they have him 28 going in a trade to Arizona.
Okay,
and that's pretty good with the Kyler Murray news too, as he's gone now.
Well, so this is a message that I got during the show. Andrew is a Jets season ticket holder, and he says, "Do not be shocked when this happens. I'm telling you right now, the Jets are going to be all in for Kyler Murray. The Cardinals are going to release him." That was the news that came down a little bit more than 90 minutes ago. He points out, this is him talking now, the amount of season tickets lost the past few years is staggering. They need a draw to sell tickets, and Murray is the only available quarterback that fits that category. That part I agree with, but you just try to do it with Justin Fields. Now, Kyler Murray's better than Justin Fields, but
I can't.
I'm talking about just for Kyler Murray's sake.
Right. I can see the Jets being all in, but he can't do that.
Why would he want to go there?
I mean, if you got Minnesota open and maybe Atlanta, you got to do that. Now, 7 seasons, only 1 playoff appearance. They had some tough luck and a lot of injuries. 2-time Pro Bowler, one of 3 players along with Josh Allen and Cam Newton to throw for 20,000 yards and run for 3,000. But there was a lot of hype because coming in as the Heisman Trophy winner and a top pick, you loved it with Kingsbury. We have to have him. He pounded the table for him, coached him so long, and I would think he went 38 and 48 the last 5 years. Had some injury issues too, but I love what a GM said about him. You don't want to. You're scared to face him, but you don't want him on your team.
Right.
So it's a complicated resume, but I still think. After what the crap that Minnesota put out there, and they still won 9 games and went over their win total, you got to be salivating.
So when you compare other teams that could land him, my example would be Pittsburgh. By the way, this is available at DraftKings as well. The Steelers are 12-1 for Kyler Murray's next team, right? For him to go and play now in that division outdoors, by the way, with a new coach in Todd Monken.
I don't get Cleveland. Pittsburgh makes sense. Minnesota makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I mixed up my teams there.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Atlanta makes a lot of sense.
So Cleveland doesn't make any sense.
I'm there. I mean, if he goes to Minnesota, I think the 60-1 is juicy.
That would be the team.
Based on how much talent they have and that they won 14 games with Sam Darnold.
Right. Yeah, so the Browns with Monken makes no sense. The Steelers with Mike McCarthy.
See, if I'm Pittsburgh,
that's not a good spot.
I'm sorry, I'd rather have Murray than Rodgers. Because I'm also thinking about the future. With Rodgers, I'm just kicking a can down the road.
I would, but again, I'm trying to put myself in Kyler Murray's shoes here. Mm-hmm. Would I want to go and do that and play for McCarthy outdoors in the AFC North or would I want to stay in a dome stadium with Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings with all their weapons, or maybe even Atlanta playing in that division with a coach who I think I can absolutely trust, and Kevin Stefanski? I'd rather have Stefanski as my coach or KOC than Mike McCarthy any day of the week.
You sold me, too. I love the Raiders idea. Go to the Raiders and trade the pick.
Well, that's
and trade Crosby. That's what I would do.
I know it's not going to happen.
I would love that. It'd be phenomenal.
That would be a play.
2%, though, Raiders. But that Colts, you can cross the Colts off the list, probably. Yeah. Because they tagged Danny Dimes, which he could still leave, but they have the option now. They can, with the transition tag, they can match any offer sheet that he's signed to.
If I'm Kyler, I would not go and play in Miami.
No, that's off the list, too.
And they're 3-1. I would not bet that.
Everyone's gone. They don't have any weapons.
Yeah, they're going to be a horrific football team next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the guy probably wants to win, and he's going to have to go somewhere where he's guaranteed to be the starter. We've kicked this around before. Like, he would go to Minnesota if the coaching staff told him you are 100% a lock to start week 1. Like, that move would make sense. In Atlanta, I think that makes some sense. Is he absolutely, unequivocally better than Michael Penix right now?
Mm-hmm.
You think he is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just because we have too much of the unknown with Penix still?
Well, plus he's more accurate, too. And plus, the concerns about Penix is he doesn't know what he's looking at.
Which, by the way, I would have taken a huge bet on the other side when Penix was coming out of college. That's the part that's a little troubling to me. He was throwing darts at Washington for 2 years. Pinpoint accuracy.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Mike Evans comes back to Tampa either.
Now, did you see this?
I think that's gone. And the Bills are the favorites.
Let me give you his credit. The reports that came out during the combine, per reports, Evans wants a quarterback he believes in, a chance at a Super Bowl, top shelf offensive coordinator, and the promise of high volume touches. The Bills fit all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
not asking for much.
Well, no.
My God.
Does Jacksonville qualify there?
Yeah. Thomas is gone.
Yeah, but is he still going to get the promise of high volume touches there?
Hunter's
going to be back.
Mike, you're off some injuries too. You're up there in age.
Carolina's 5-1 for next team. Why would he go there? Mm-hmm. Baltimore is 6-1. New coaching staff there.
Don't hate it.
How about the Niners?
How about it?
At 9-1.
Like that too.
I would assume that if he goes there, there's going to be that dude is going to get a ton of touches there.
Plus Patriots. The Patriots could land some of these guys. That's a great fit too. If he could go to New England,
pretty good. Would you rather see Evans in Buffalo or AJ Brown?
Ooh, AJ Brown.
Would you?
Yep.
He's a better threat.
He's better
in that offense.
Yeah, and I'm concerned about what's left in the tank and the injuries for Evans. And I don't know what Tyreek Hill has left either.
Guy, who knows?
Or the problems that he brings. And the second choice there are the Bills too. It's A.J. Brown. The Patriots are the favorites. How about A.J. Brown in Baltimore? Can you get there? That's not bad. That's a third choice. Yeah. June 11th. We're getting ready. World Cup. Only at Circa Resort and Casino for this incredible experience. 2-night stay, VIP cabana, games at Stadium Swim, $500 in credit, $250 in food and beverage. Limo picks you up, cocktails at Legacy Club. Get it now. CircaLasVegas.com. Kick off the World Cup the right way. June 11th, 5 weeks of madness picks. Can't wait. Wall-to-wall action. Giveaway details. CircaLasVegas.com.
Up next, VSiN's 2026 MLB Futures Draft was held today. We'll recap it, go over what we liked, what we didn't like, and AI will tell us which draft they liked the most. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Earlier today here on VSiN, the powers that be put together a 2026 MLB Futures Draft. Great job by everybody involved. And Paul, so we ran these numbers through AI to see who had the best draft overall, but some big hitters were involved, like Steve Phillips, former GM, obviously. Lance Lynn. A bunch of VSiN hosts were involved as well. Some fantasy people were involved. But overall, we did this with the football season, did it again today with Major League Baseball. And when people here behind the scenes ran it through AI, Steve Phillips came out as the number one best draft overall. They said that he nailed multiple favorites, including NL Cy Young Paul Skeens, Rookie of the Year in the National League Connor Griffin, plus 280 now. Cubs and win the division. Braves World Series 15-1. Win totals with Royals over, Cardinals under. Mm-hmm. And they pointed out that there were a couple of contrarian misses, but also you have to take a couple of long shots here or teams to win, or players to win awards, so it can get out of control.
If you're watching, there's the categories and what you have to pick. A lot like the NFL draft we did in August, which was a lot of fun. Good job, Stevie Cohen. But need a pennant winner, World Series winner, 1 win total over, 1 win total under, MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year.
Yeah,
Lance,
so it's going to be a snake draft, so a lot of the picks that you might have written down or guys that you want to attack, they're going to be sniped.
Lance Lynn, second. He won Aaron Judge MVP, Blue Jays Division, and World Series. Yamamoto, Cy Young, Giants over. Some of his key selections.
Okay. So
the first pick was Skeens, Cy Young. Big Adam Burke took Soto, MVP, second pick.
Second pick.
Judge, third. Skubal, Cy Young. Ohtani, MVP. Big Dumper, MVP. Dodgers World Series. Those are the first 8 picks.
Okay.
Jeff Erickson was ecstatic to get the Dodgers World Series with the 8th pick.
I don't blame him. I would have taken them probably higher than that.
Matt Brown was doing cartwheels to get Ohtani MVP.
I don't blame him there either.
Yeah.
But I need to reiterate this. When we talked about it in recent weeks, we got a great tweet from Steve, who is a proxy out here in Las Vegas. It was a tweet. He said that at some point, a sports book, will get ahead of everybody else, and they are going to offer the MVP winner without. Much like most books do now, winner without Scotty Scheffler, Rory, whichever the event is. And that it's not going to be a thing beyond, I don't think anyway, beyond Ohtani and Judge playing. But right now, I think it makes a lot of sense because you can spend all day long looking down the board. And with those guys in it, that's going to give you bigger numbers on other guys that you normally wouldn't get. But if they stay healthy, they're probably going to win again this year. Look at what Dumper did last year, and he could not beat out Aaron Judge. Now, Judge was awesome, but Dumper hit 60-plus home runs, division-winning team, didn't matter. Playing catcher, by the way, at an elite level, not good enough to win the MVP. And if Ohtani's going to be pitching more this year, who has a chance to win? If those two guys each play 150 games, that's probably it. They're going to win.
Matt Human said the first win total, Nationals under 65.5. There was a lot of people making the case for stuff Texas-related. They love the rotation. They like the team. If they can get in the playoffs, watch out.
Well, Texas is going to be the potential here to be very, very good.
I can't remember who it was. Was it Lance Lynn? I don't know. Someone took DeGrom at 13-1, Cy Young. And Sanchez was grabbed 10-1. And I think it was Jensen Lewis who took Kansas City to win the division at plus 250.
Well,
Crochet went early, but it was a good draft and a lot of good stuff there with some of the picks and what was selected and the guys that and Schlittler too. Matt Humans took a shot on him. 50-1.
50-1.
He was awesome to close the season in that unbelievable playoff game.
Now, if I recall correctly, the football futures draft that we did, and we plugged it into AI, did it not spit out that you and Gil had the best chances to win?
Yeah, and I finished near the bottom.
And
I think some bad luck.
I think you guys finished both near the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, for the baseball one, the AI has Gil 8th, Matt Humans 9th, Jensen Lewis 10th. But if you go based on what AI predicted for football, maybe 3 of the VSiN hosts at the very bottom will actually be correct, and AI is going to be wrong. Gil took Skubal, AL Cy Young, plus 350. Again, that's another guy. If he's going to go out there and pitch 32, 33 games, Crochet had a great case last year, couldn't win. Orioles division, plus 425. The East is so good this year. And Gil also took Rangers pennant, the World Series, the White Sox over 66.5. Humans was graded out 9th overall. I like what AI did. They said he's the second Matt, striped shirt. Matt Brown was the one with glasses on. That's what AI spit out. But Humans with the Brewers, as you said, Raleigh MVP. And then Jensen Lewis was picked 10th out of 10 people. Alonso AL MVP. Ellie De La Cruz, National League MVP.
Those are aggressive, yeah.
AI called Jensen Lewis the most contrarian portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
Mets to win the World Series. Dodgers under 102.5 wins.
How about Witt MVP if Kansas City wins the division?
Oh, what happens to Aaron Judge?
I'm saying is like 5-6 to 1 enough? Or
No.
would you need, based on what you watched last year? You're right.
No, because the guy could have won it 2 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't his breakout exactly 2 years ago when he had comparable numbers, like the metrics were right there with Aaron Judge and he still didn't win? It was either 2 or 3 years ago. So I again, if Judge and Ohtani have to get hurt, I think, for them not to win.
Oh, boy. Sad but true. Probably.
Well, it's also, what if you did a parlay of both those guys? Some books will let you parlay awards.
Yeah, he's plus 550 at DK. Yeah. Who was it? Someone took Kurtz right away, MVP.
MVP?
15 to 1, yes. 15 to 1.
Take a peek at him for most home runs.
Could do that, yeah.
Watching that kid last year, he's got the frame and the power to, hit 50 plus at some point in his career. It might be, a year or 2 years too soon, but if it's not, you're going to be sitting on a pretty decent number there for him to accomplish that overall. Jeff Erickson was ecstatic.
Yeah.
The Dodgers fell to 8th overall to win the World Series.
Yep. And I think he was the guy who grabbed Brewers over, which Nick Whalen loved. I was unaware of the 8-1 over the last 9 years for Milwaukee.
You can't. I mean,
good job, guys.
I think it's a bad idea to count them out. They are a professional outfit, man. And for them to win, 99 games a year ago, when people were saying, they too big of a loss with Willie Adames, and they're not going to be able to overcome that, and we can't trust it. Okay, all right. And then we saw the emergence of, how about this, of Mizorowski last year. Mm-hmm. And yet, when I was gone a couple of weeks back, when you and I were on vacation, Adam Burke filled in with JVT on Pod of the Futures. Burke said Logan Henderson is actually the Brewers' best pitcher. And he said he didn't see him anywhere at a sports book for Cy Young, but he said if you want a piece of him, ask your local book to see if they'll post him. He's that high on Logan Henderson. And I thought when Henderson came up last year, he had 3 starts in a row that were phenomenal. I remember they had injuries to the staff, and I grabbed a huge number on him to win NL Rookie of the Year. And then the Brewers sent him back. That's the way teams operate. Now, not too much service time. And they were very careful about it. They never really called him back up. Pretty much the rest of the year, they sent him back down. I'm like, this guy, what are you doing?
What if the Dodgers go through the motions and just have injuries and win like 99 or like 102? Could you make a case someone can?
For most wins?
Yeah. Yankees 12, Phillies 13, Blue Jays 15, Braves 15, Seattle and the Mets 17, Cubbies 18. Red Sox 18.
How about Seattle with that pitching staff?
Yeah.
Now, Raleigh's not going to hit 60 again, but can he hit 45? People are expecting maybe an MVP season out of Julio Rodriguez. They lost Suarez, so that's going to hurt a little bit middle of the lineup. But in that division, you're also going to have, the Angels, the Astros are going to come back to the pack. The A's are going to be decent, and certainly you have the Rangers, but the other team would be the Tigers. A lot of young guys on offense. Now you have Skubal and Valdez at the top. They're like, I saw them between 40 and 60 to 1 for most wins. In that division with the White Sox and the Twins, and people are low on the Guardians this year.
Yep.
Tigers, huge number. Yep. Maybe them.
DraftKings has over 1.5 teams to win 100 games, plus 120. 100 losses, over 1.5 minus 270. And the Rockies
minus 270?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the Rockies were $5 to have the most losses. Oh, if you're betting college hoops, now's the time to get your edge. Get the VSiN Pro access through May 1st, $29.99 with the Hoops Mania special. You get the March Mania betting guide, every pick, every host, every guest. That Lunatic Hoops is up there with 20 plays every day. Great write-ups from Cohen, Adam Burke, Zach Cohen. If you're planning to bet hoops, get a real edge with all the trends, strategies, breakdowns, and picks from the analysts. VSiN.com/subscribe. $29.99 Hoops Mania special.
NBA next. This series has been total domination over the last couple of years.